Hey everyone, Bill Nichols here. Today I want to bring you a review of the Xiaomi Y4K action camera kit. This is a competitor to GoPro, and in the past when I thought of any competitor to GoPro, maybe outside of Sony or back when the Contour was out before the Hero 4, there weren't really many competitors. I've tried a bunch of the Chinese ones, tried a bunch of the ones that are around $60 to $80. They're mostly all terrible. I think today you're going to be surprised by the Y4K action camera kit. From now on I'm going to call it the Y4K camera. So let's take a look at what we have here. This is the selfie kit, and it's really nicely packaged. The Y4K action camera basically has a lot of the same specs that the Hero 4 Black does. It's a GoPro type form factor. It looks a lot like a GoPro. It's a little bit wider. It's a little bit wider. It's got a great built-in screen on the back. Very usable touchscreen. So unlike the GoPro Hero 4 Black, when you want to add a touchscreen to it and it gains some size, this doesn't. It's built in, and it is a very useful touchscreen. I'll tell you right off the bat that I was really surprised at the quality out of this camera, in that it matches the GoPro and probably even exceeds it in each of the resolutions as far as quality goes, and at a price that's a lot less than the Hero 4 Black. This is about $280 out the door. Got it on Amazon.com. Great little camera. So the basics: larger battery, the SD micro card goes in the battery compartment. You've got a USB right here, 2 mics on top, and a speaker for when you review that. You have a 7-glass 155-degree f2.8 field of view lens here. It's the same lens, I'm pretty sure, as what's in the GoPro. At least the same number of elements, the same degree, the same field of view as far as how wide it'll go, same aperture f2.8. Overall, the design's very similar. It feels slightly more plasticky than the GoPro, but they're both built out of plastic. It feels pretty solid. One nice thing, it has a tripod mount, a 1/4-20 on the bottom here. And overall, the quality is really great. The package comes with a little cheap remote control here, but the selfie stick that it comes with, for mounting it onto, so it mounts on with this little threaded adapter here. So you just spin it on. The selfie stick locks. It's like a little ball joint here, so you can move it all around, however you want. So if you want it to look at you, you've got the indentation here so that you can flip it, however you want. And overall, the construction of the selfie stick, it's pretty hefty. Like you could defend yourself with this thing. So just twist to unlock. You make sure that it's twisted. Then it extends. So there it is, fully extended. Then you bring it back in, twist it to lock it up, and then it's going to stay there. It's got a little belt loop clip, little hand lanyard. Send your hand through, and then you just mount the camera on here. You could really mount anything with a 1/4-20 on here. So, your Canon GX7, anything else. This is actually a pretty nice little selfie stick. No buttons or anything, but nice vinyl grip, all of that. Let's take a look at the camera itself. So earlier today, what I did was I took it out, I mounted it side by side next to a Hero 4 Black. I went just mountain biking around my neighborhood really quick, and I'll show some of that footage here. So when I'm first starting off, we're in 4K, 30 frames a second. I then go to 1080p at 120 frames a second and 1080p at 30 frames a second. Both of these were sat in their kind of native color. So for GoPro, I turned GoPro Pro Tune on. I put it into GoPro color. Then for the Y4K camera, I put it into what's called Y color. You can see both of them here. They look great. Then I went after the mountain biking, mounted it to the car, went driving around, same thing, 1080p, 4K, before I ran out of space. That's how it looks overall. So overall, I think the video out of this thing is great. Right off the bat, it uses a newer processor and a newer sensor than the GoPro does. So they both have the Ambarella 9. This has a 9 SE, and then it's got a Sony, a new version up of the Sony sensor that was on there. So the Ambarella processor, the Sony sensor, the GoPro uses an X117. This uses an X337. They're both half-inch sensors, 12 megapixels. They both do stills. Basically, all of the resolutions that are on the GoPro are here, from 720p at 240 frames a second to 4K at 30 frames a second. You turn this on, just a long press, and then right away, let's just go into the touchscreen here. It's going to tell us that we're in video mode. The card's full right now. We can go in here, choose the resolution. You can see how responsive this screen is. So pretty much everything that you need to choose is in here. So 4K, 30 frames a second to 720p, or 480 at 240 frames a second. Come over here to configure it. It's where you can have it do the lens distortion adjustment automatically, look up the Wi-Fi information, SD card, all of this. The default camera mode, whether you want it to be the last one used or not. Info about it, you can reset it, where is it? And then go in here to video, you have your different modes. So you've got photo, timer, burst, video, time-lapse video, slow motion. So slow motion by default, it goes to 720p at 120 frames a second. And really, really good, overall. Like the touchscreen is really good. Here, we'll hold it down, see how quick it boots up. So just a couple of seconds to boot up, and that's it. Metering mode, center or spot or average. So you can tell it to take a sample from the scene and then average that to adjust the exposure. You can tell it a specific spot, so that'll be dead center. It'll do a spot meter and take the adjustment off of there. Or center will be like a center weighted average, so a smaller area out of the center, just like on your cameras. You've got auto, low light, video quality, white balance, color. So the different color profiles here, you've got a flat or a Y color. Your ISO, auto, sharpness, medium, EVs, so your exposure, compensation if you want it to be over or under. So what I did for these, really great. Actually, if you look at this, just the responsiveness of the screen is really impressive. Super fast, really responsive screen. Probably the best touchscreen that I've seen on any little camera like this. And then right from the front, you can see it looks just like a GoPro. So you've got this kind of view here. LED lets you know that it's on. It says 4K, 12 megapixel photo. All right, and that's that. Now let's do this. Let's jump into their app. So here's the Y Action Cam. I'm not going to log into it. It says to log in with Facebook. We're not going to do that. One thing that you can see right off the bat, this is their app, and it looks like they have quite a few users, but they have basically copied Instagram to the T. So right now we're connected to the camera, so I could upload from it if I wanted to. But I can go in here now and view the camera by clicking this green. It'll say, I'm not connected to Wi-Fi. So here it is. We'll get connected to Wi-Fi. We're now connected. Come back in. It'll just see the device, it'll connect to it. Now we've got the preview of the device here. So we can take a look around. So there's actually the Ninja Flame recording this. We can go into settings. We can change all the settings just like you could in the GoPro app. This app's actually really nice. You can go in here, you can show your grid if you want for composing. You do your distortion correction so you can see there the difference of what it does. It takes that kind of pin cushion out. Then you can rotate it, so if you have it vertically, it'll know that it's vertical. It doesn't automatically sense that, so let's go back. And we can go back in here to the settings. You can see all that. So the app is really nice, very useful. It works really well. I haven't had any issues with it. I do think it's kind of funny that they really copied Instagram down to, the letters, the fonts, the comments, everything. You've got an editor in here. So you need to have access to your photos and everything. I haven't done that, but they have an editing app where you can cut your video there. So overall, this little camera is really impressive. It comes in the waterproof case. I'll give you a couple of cons to it. So the pros of it, the battery is much longer. Against my GoPro Hero 4, my Hero 4 went for about 1 hour and 5 minutes. This went for 1 hour and 51 minutes. On average, I did it 3 different times, ran them down from the start. So about 1 hour 5 on the GoPro Hero 4 Black, about 1 hour 51 here. That was fantastic. It's almost exactly what they say. The picture really looked just as good on both of them. You can change the sharpness, you can change the look of it right off the bat. It's got the 2 mics, so it gets a little bit better audio. Neither one of these really get fantastic audio. I've actually found the best one audio-wise is the GoPro Hero Session. Even in fast-moving outdoors, instead of getting all the wind noise, it cuts it, and you get really great audio out of it. You can see that in the card on the right. I'll put the review to my Hero Session gimbal where I was mountain biking with the Hero on, and you can hear how clear my voice is. So overall, a lot cheaper than the GoPro, much longer battery life, just as good if not a better picture, and great app. One of the cons to it, being a third-party camera, I've never known any of these third-party cameras to really have much of an ecosystem of parts. So this comes, you can order the waterproof case. So I have the waterproof case here. If you've seen a GoPro case, it looks just like a waterproof GoPro case. That's about the only accessory for it. I can't find any others. There's not a frame for it, and I would like to be recording outside of that case so I don't have a glass element in front of it. It is a nice case. It's plastic housing, glass element, just like the GoPro one. But that's the biggest drawback to these, is that there's not really a third-party ecosystem. Hopefully Xiaomi, being as big as they are, they can either produce more accessories for this, or they can have others produce them. They can license to others and have them do it. But overall, I'd say that this is a great camera. I think GoPro has to step it up with the Hero 5. If that Hero 5 comes out at $499, like the last Hero 4 Black did, and it doesn't trump, just soundly trump something like this with some fantastic features or something else, I think they're going to be in a world of hurt. This being, you know, a couple hundred to a few $100 cheaper. It's great. It looks durable. I didn't have any problems with it during use. Using it with the app worked really well while it was mounted to the car outside of the window, and I was inside of my car. So I'm really impressed. This is the first one that I've been impressed with outside of GoPro or Sony or Contour when they were around. But any of the others that were kind of copies, or that were trying to come out at a much cheaper price point, they just didn't impress. This one impresses a lot. Great job, Xiaomi. I'd like to see what they have going forward. So I would give this a total thumbs up. If you're looking for an action cam that you want to be able to mount directly to a tripod or use its waterproof case, and you don't want to spend the money that's on a GoPro, I think that this is a great choice. Let me know if you've used one of these brands, if you've had any long-term use of it or not. I know that the Y4K has only been out for a little bit now, but if you've used one, if you've had great success with it or not, if you have sample videos, post down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any questions or comments, let me know below. This week, I will be announcing the next giveaway. It's going to be another bag. It won't be a Think Tank bag. It's going to be a great backpack, so stay tuned. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe, because I'm going to start doing some random giveaways as well, just in videos. And the only way that you're going to be able to win is if you're a subscriber. So subscribe below. And thanks for watching as always. You guys are awesome. I hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for watching. You keep watching. I'll keep making videos. Talk to you soon.